Delightful greetings to our viewers around the world. On today's Vegetarianism, the Noble Way of Living, we are excited to have with us the much sought-after eco-green raw and living food chef, Dinah Knight. One can say that Chef Dinah Knight's specialty rests in advocating plant-based whole foods for optimal health and environmental sustainability. She herself was transformed on this vegan diet, shedding over 115 pounds, or 52 kilograms, and slimming off 16 inches, or 40.64 centimeters, from her waistline. Chef Dinah also travels around the United States on speaking tours to connect with individuals and groups through workshops and consultations that enable them to achieve happier and healthier lives. Today, she will demonstrate how to grow your own sprouts with fun kitchen gardening.
Hi, I'm Chef Dinah Knight of Greenivore. Some of you may be asking, what's a greenivore? This is someone who has made the connection between what they do on a daily basis and how it affects the environment. You'd be considered a level 1 greenivore if you have started to buy more eco-friendly products. You're also looking at how you can reduce your waste. You may start off recycling. Now you can also take it a step further, which is to what I call level 2 greenivore. You are someone who has found that our diet really does affect our environment. These foods tend to be organically grown and as much as possible are plant-based. That has the least impact on the environment and is the best for you and for the planet. Now, in addition to that, we have what I call the level 3 greenivore. This person is now living green, they're eating green, and they take it one step further and they're eating lots and lots of greens. And we're going to show you how to make these green foods, which are chlorophyll rich and extremely nutritious, extremely delicious. Living foods such as sprouts. And we're going to show you how to actually grow your own. So for today, I want to focus on growing your own food right in your kitchen, also known as kitchen gardening. And the first thing you need are some seeds. One of my favorite sprouts are the alfalfa sprouts. They grow 8 to 15 times their weight in volume, so that you're getting a tremendous yield whenever you actually sprout. So for every pound that you buy of seeds, you're going to get up to 15 pounds of sprouts. Another variety that I have here are fenugreek. Fenugreek has a really nice flavor. They almost give you this maple-like scent to them. Very nice and easy to sprout, similar to how we do alfalfa seeds. This third variety that I have here are the broccoli sprouts. I consider these the power sprout. Did you know that broccoli, in and of itself, contains extremely potent anti-cancer fighting agents? One of them is called sulforaphane. The broccoli sprouts, however, contain 30 to 50 times the amount of sulforaphane that regular broccoli heads do. So you're getting a tremendous boost in nutrition when you eat it in the sprouted form. Sprouted legumes or pulses are another great addition to any diet, and they're easy to sprout and grow. In fact, you can do it practically in 1 to 2 days. One of my favorite things to sprout are the mung beans, and they're very, very nutritious. In fact, they contain 20% of their calories from protein. Another sprout that I have here are the garbanzo beans or the chickpeas. You want to make sure that you get a nice little tail on them. You can create sprouted hummus. You could also use them in all different kinds of variety of salads. They're very delicious. Another sprout that I have are the adzuki beans. These are also highly nutritious and they taste great. To begin sprouting, all you need are a few basic pieces of equipment that you can find in any hardware store and some organic seeds. So what I've got here is a quart-sized mason jar. All you need to do to begin sprouting alfalfa, for instance, this is the particular seed I've got, is to just add the seeds to your jar. Once you've done that, they need water. Water is going to help to release the seed and start the growing and germinating process. You want to make sure that you only use filtered or clean water and not tap water because they could kill the sprouts. Any kind of chlorine can cause problems. So I'm going to go ahead and add water to my seeds. And you really just need to add enough water to cover the seeds. Now that you have your seeds and the water inside your mason jar, all that you need to do is to cover it with some type of screen. One of the inexpensive ways to do that is to just go to your local hardware store and buy some common window screen. So here's some window screen. So I put it on top of my jar. Save your rubber bands when you buy broccoli or any of the other vegetables that are held together. These are nice and thick and they'll hold the screen right to the jar very easily. I'm going to place the rubber band around the screen, and then I would pull down the screen because you don't want any air pockets or bubbles. Another way to secure the screen to your jar is to just use the lid of the mason jar. So you just take the jar and you squeeze the lid on there and just rotate. And then you want to make sure you pull the screen nice and tight just like we did with the rubber band so that you don't have any gussets or any air pockets. Another way to sprout is to use sprouting lids. Now you can use the same mason jar, but these particular screens actually change size depending on at what stage you are in the sprouting process. These are some different stages of sprouting and some different varieties of sprouts that we've been growing all week. This is what you probably see in your typical grocery store, which is alfalfa. Alfalfa sprouts, very, very inexpensive to grow, and 35% protein. This was 2 tablespoons of seeds that grew into this much sprouts. This is a tremendous value and investment for you, for your health, and also for your pocketbook. Let's go over the basic process. What you're going to need to do first is to place the seeds into the jar, like we have here, and cover them with water. You're going to let them sit out for 6 to 8 hours or overnight. And then in the morning, you're going to rinse them and you're going to drain them. So you're going to drain off all of the water that's covering the seeds. Then, twice a day for the next 5 to 7 days, depending on what seeds you're using, you're going to continue to rinse and drain the seeds inside the jar by using this screen, just by pouring off the water. Giving them a good shake. And then putting more water on top of them, and then rinsing them again, and draining the excess water off. So these are some broccoli sprouts that have started to grow. They've been about 3 days, and you can start to see that there's little tails on these sprouts. You want them to grow at least the length of the seed, and at that point, they're ready to start using in your recipes. In this jar, I have some of the alfalfa seeds that I've sprouted. It only takes about 2 tablespoons of seeds per quart jar in order to start the sprouting process. And as they grow, you may want to move them up into a larger jar or divide them into 2 different size quart jars. It's really important to actually remove the holes around the sprout in order to help with the sprouting process. You can take the sprouts and you can remove them from the jar and add them into the water. And as I start to agitate the sprouts and move them about, you can see that the hull starts to release itself from the sprout. You can scoop these brown hulls right off, and that will help to the sprouting process to continue. Now, a lot of the commercial sprouts that are grown, they don't do this process of hulling. So it can lead to bacteria growing underneath that hull. So it's a really great way to extend the life of your sprouts and to make them fresher. So I definitely recommend after about 2 days before you're going to harvest your sprouts to go ahead and do this hulling process. So make sure that you continue to give them fresh water every day and drain it off. And one of the easiest ways to drain off your sprouts is to get something like this, which is an inverted rack. There's slats here, and you can put like a plastic bin or something that's right near your sink and allows the water to come right out of it. It's always better to keep them at an angle so airflow can get into the sprouts and allow them to be fresher and to get the oxygen that they need. After 5 to 7 days of sprouting, you can see that you grow a lot of sprouts in your jar. Place these near a window in indirect sunlight so that you can allow them to green. By greening them, you're increasing the nutritional value because they're going to absorb more chlorophyll into the sprout, which makes them better for you. So make sure that you do that as the step after you've done the hulling process. When you're ready to harvest your sprouts, you can store them in a glass jar right in your fridge and use them in delicious salads, on top of sandwiches, in smoothies, or in soups. We're going to actually show you how to make these sprouts, these living sprouts, taste delicious by creating a sprout salad. And I'll show you how to make a great dressing that goes wonderful with sprout.
Please join us tomorrow as Chef Dinah Knight shows us how to prepare a fresh sprout salad with spicy spirulina dressing. Coming up now is Between Master and Disciples, here on Supreme Master Television. May well-being and vibrancy always accompany your life.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/VEG